partner for life. Now, this morning on the Super Morning Show, the first thing that we're going to talk about are the kidnappings of the girls in Takoradi. Now, we don't know the exact number because at some point it was 8, at some point it was 4. And so we don't know the exact number of girls that have been kidnapped in Takoradi. What we do know is that there are girls who are missing. The call to action for the police is that they tell us exactly what is going on, exactly what they are doing about the issue. And it seems as though their focus has been on prosecution. So the man who is at the head of this organization that has been kidnapping these girls is in custody. The focus has been on prosecuting him as opposed to rescuing the girls. So this morning, we're turning our attention in that direction. What is being done? When can we expect the girls back home? And if the person who is at the head of this organization is in custody, why are we finding it difficult to locate where they are? Are we suggesting perhaps that the person that's sitting at the head of this organization does not know where the kidnapped girls are? And if he doesn't know, then how will we find them? But if he does know, then how come we don't have that information? This morning we'll be talking about that. But I'm going to play you a report on this so that you can come up to date on the story as it stands now.
So we would not say, I mean, so not for me, my knowledge.
A month ago, 18-year-old Ruth Texan called her mother in a desperate tone demanding some monies. She, however, could not tell why she needed as much as 5,000 Ghana cedis. 56-year-old Comfort Ahin says her daughter was picked up at the BU junction in Takoradi.
2 hours after she left home, she called my line and demanded 5,000 cedis. I got worried and alarmed. I asked her where she was, but she couldn't give me any information about her location.
At that time, you know. I know.
2 weeks down the line, 15-year-old Priscilla Mantebia Kranche, a first-year student of the secondary college, was also kidnapped. But unlike Madame Ahin, Priscilla's father, Alexander Kranche, wants closure because he believes his daughter is dead.
Even they called me Sunday that they have found my daughter's dress around where the kidnapper was, where he was arrested. So when they called me, in fact, I couldn't believe my daughter is alive.
The subsequent arrest of the suspect Samuel Wilson Utodek, a Nigerian, brought some hope to the distressed parents that their daughters will soon be found. But that would not last, as the alleged kidnapper broke jail. Even though he was rearrested within 4 days, the parents would this time be cautiously optimistic. In fact, some of them are angry with the police as they accuse them of being more interested in the jailbreak rather than helping find their daughters.
Just a night that we managed to do the demonstration, they called that they found the guy again. So this thing I don't understand. And we all know he have admitted he have the guys or the girls with them. I heard over that they jail him with the escaping. That's not escaping matter. We want the kid. We want the children. You got to torture the guy to say the truth.
But the police deny the claim. ASP Olivia Texan says they have not been able to find the girls because the suspect is not forthcoming with credible information.
When he was arrested, he said the children were in Kasua. They searched the whole of Kasua and he could not really pinpoint the exact house the children are.
But security analyst Adam Bona would have none of that. For him, heads must roll.
I am very outraged. I don't see the reason why the Western Regional Police Commander is still at post. And these officers who, due to their own negligence, this suspect broke jail, they caught him within 4 days. Some village in some uncompleted, dilapidated building. If they could arrest this, even if they are under the sea, I want to believe that the police should be able to find them.
Executive Director of the ACT Foundation, Angela Dromnabuaje, also wants the police to step up its efforts.
What if the girls have been ferreted out of the country? What if the girls have lost their lives? in the approach to this issue. It shouldn't be policing as usual.
Meanwhile, the police say they're on a manhunt for one more person believed to be involved in this business.
We believe that Wilson is not the only person. He has mentioned one name, but the only problem now is he's not giving information as to.
But until then, the families of these girls will continue to grieve. And estimating for Joy News.
And that's the story so far. In a minute, we're going to speak to Nanajwa, whose 18-year-old sister was kidnapped. Before we do that, though, riddle, what can you do in less than a minute? Well, GT Bank has the answer for you. With GT Bank's mobile banking platform, 737, you can now open accounts in less than a minute on your mobile phone without having to visit the banking hall. Unbelievable, right? It's simple. All you need to do is dial *737 *1# on your phone and follow the prompts. Enter your preferred 4 digits PIN and a new GT Bank account number is generated for you instantly. This takes less than a minute. And guess what? You can link your instant accounts to your mobile money wallet for easy transfers by dialing *737# and choosing the last option. You can also get an instant Visa or MasterCard at GT Bank today. Very simple and convenient. Just dial *737 *1# to get started. For further assistance, please call 050-144-9481 or 050-140-9490. Bank *737#. Simple banking for every Ghanaian. Guarantee Trust Bank. Wouldn't you rather bank with us? Now, making calls on Vodafone just got more exciting on our spanking new Vodafone Talk to Browse offer. Now, when you call Vodafone or any other network, you get 10 megabytes of free data for every minute you talk. It's as simple as that. Accumulate more minutes of talk and get more data to browse. The more minutes you talk, the more data you get. Simply dial 5050 to subscribe to this mouth-watering offer. Speak in megabytes with Vodafone Talk to Browse. Talk more, browse more. The future is exciting. Are you ready? And I'm going to the phone lines to speak to Nanajwa, whose 18-year-old sister has been kidnapped. Nanajwa? Hello, Nanajwa? Hello, Nanajwa?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm very well, thank you too. We're really sorry about this situation and what it means to your family. But first of all, can you tell us how this happened?
It happened on the 4th of December 2018 when my junior sister left home to seek a job employment at the MTN office. So around like 11 to 12, he called back telling us that the taxi that she took from our junction, she doesn't know where they have taken her. So as she's speaking to us, she's in some room locked up and she doesn't know where she is. So they say we should send them money before they release her. Then later the line went off. So the following day, then a gentleman called with her line telling us that she wants 10,000 Ghana cedis before she released her. Then we told her that we won't get such amount for him. Then we pleaded with him and he brought it down to 80,000 Ghana cedis. So from that day on the 4th, immediately she called telling us that we reported it to the police at the Takoradi Central Police Station. And they told us that, okay, then we should come back on the 5th for investigation to go on. So with gradual process, with the help of the police, the BNI, they were able to arrest the guy for the first time. And on the 31st of December, which was last year, 2018, the boy escaped from the cells. Even when he escaped, we didn't know that the boy has escaped it until I saw the picture on the social media platforms that this kidnapper guy has escaped dead. Then I consulted the CID, which our case is in with him. And he told us that he is not aware, so he is confirming it from the office. So later on, she sent me a text message saying, yeah, it's true. So immediately the guy escaped from the cells. We had a call again demanding for another money. Then the guy told us that we are very funny. We think the police people that we are giving the case to, we think they can help us or what. They will never do anything to help us. So if we want our sister, we should send 30,000 Ghana cedis. Then we told the guy that such amount we cannot get for him. Then he cut the call. Then we tried calling back. The phone was off. Then he called around in the evening, so demanding for the money, and told us that we should send the money so that he can release the ladies. And we asked how many of them are they. He said, oh, it doesn't matter. We should just send the money, then we release them. So on that day she was demanding for that money, we decided to go to the Central Police Station to find out what exactly is going on, because we cannot understand someone is in the custody, is able to escape. So when we went there, the commander told us that we should give them 10 days, they will find the guy back, blah, blah, blah. They talk a lot. So we told them that we cannot wait for that 10 days, because as we are saying 10 days, the person is out there. We don't know the next victim that he will kidnap or the next person that he will kidnap. So if we say we are waiting for the 10 days, we don't know what will happen to our children and our sisters here. So we gave them up to Friday. So we gave them up to Friday that we are going to do a demonstration against them, because we don't understand why someone is in their custody could escape whilst there were 7 policemen on duty. So on that Friday, even before Friday that we went on demonstration, exactly around 5:30 to 6 early in the morning, which is that Friday, then we had a call and we saw the pictures rolling on the social media that they have rearrested the guy. So we went there with our demonstration. We went there with the team. We went there. The police commander came out and talked to us that now that they have arrested the guy, we should give them 5 days. They interrogate him and do what is all the necessary measures for them to retrieve the information from him as where he has kept the girls. And we said, okay, fine. Then we wait for that 5 days. The 5 days came. We didn't hear anything. Then we went to the regional police commander. We went to Secondary. He wasn't around. So one DSP, Ayipa, talked to us and told us that they are still on it because the guy is refusing to talk. So we should give them time. Then even if she talks, he keeps giving them wrong information that maybe the children are here. They went to Kaswa. He told them the children are at Kaswa. They went there. They didn't see anything. Later they brought him back. So we should give them time for them to interrogate him more and torture him more. So we were there like a day's time. They called out that they are taking the guy to court, so we should come there. Then we went there. When we went there, I was thinking like maybe if interrogate him or torture him enough for him to tell us where the kids are. But when we went to the court, nothing shows that the guy has been tortured. All they were discussing at the courtroom was how we break out from the cells. Then they asked the guy whether he is guilty or not. Then he told the judge that he is not guilty. Then the judge postponed the sitting to another date, which was last week Wednesday that we went. Last week Wednesday we went there too again, and the guy, they brought the guy there and they asked him about the escape. That means they are still on the escape case. They haven't even asked the guy about our sister's whereabouts. So when we went there on Wednesday, the guy admitted that he escaped from the cells. They asked him how he did it. He told them that through the help of one certain guy who was passing by. He was in the cells and he saw the guy passing by through the window. Then he called the guy to come to give his phone to her so that he can call his brother. So when he called his brother came that very day and gave him a assault blade and some oil. That assault blade and the oil was the thing he was able to use to pass the cell's window for him to escape. We were like, how can someone in the Central Police Station, the way the place is, and even that same place is where their police quarters are, some of them stays there. So as at that time, he was cutting all this. No one could hear the sound while 7 policemen were duty. We were like, wow, because this story there, if you tell anyone, it's something else. So we couldn't understand what's going on in the courtroom. So for that day, the last court we went there, most of the people were, if we were saying how is this possible? Because someone in the custody of a police will see a person passing by through the window and tell the person to give him his phone to call his brother. So when all this thing was going on, where was the policemen on duty? That's our problem. And up to now, we haven't even heard about where they have sent our sisters. When you ask them about the boy, they say, they are still on it. There is no new development. So as I'm talking to you, this coming Monday, which is 28th, we'll go to the court again. For that one, I don't know what they are going to discuss. Maybe whether they are going to continue about his escape or not. So we are yet to find out on the 28th of this month what is going to happen at the courtroom. So that's the situation now.
Okay. Nanajwa, how much exactly have you paid to this man?
For our side, we've paid 1,200 cedis.
Okay. And he said that you should send this money for what purpose? For medical reasons?
No, the kidnapper told us that if you send that 80,000, she will let our sister go free. She will leave her. So we told her that we cannot get such amount. Then we pleaded with him and it reached 30,000 cedis. Then we told her that 30,000 cedis we cannot get. What we can get is 1,000 Ghana. And he told us that, okay, fine, we should send it. She will leave our sister to come home. Then we decided to send 500 for them to trace the number. So when we sent the 500, the phone went off like 4 to 5 days before the phone went on again. Then they called the money for another money. Then we said, okay, fine, this time we will send it. But we want to hear the voice of our sister. He says, no. If we are serious and we want our sister, then we should send it. He's promising us that after we send the money, he will let our sister go free. So we sent another 500 Ghana cedis. Then the phone went off again for some days. Then the phone, he switched on the phone again. So it was like when he received the money, then he off the phone. In some days' time, he will call back the money for another money, all sorts of this. So we told him that we cannot play such game with him. So for this time, if we want to send another money again, we have to meet at a point, maybe with our sister there, then we also meet with the money. Then the boy ended the call, he switched off the phone, we couldn't reach him again till the day he was kidnapped. He was caught by the police, then he escaped from the cell and was arrested. So ever since they arrested the boy, no one has called to demand any money from us.
Okay.
Including the first girl according to his father that he talked to us, he told us that since he arrested the guy, he hasn't received any call from anyone demanding money from him.
Okay.
So that means
okay, Nana, so before you made these payments, did you inform the police that this is what was happening?
Yeah, they were all aware. Yeah, the police, the BNI, they were all aware.
And they asked you to go ahead and make the payments?
Yeah.
And did they give you any indication of the action that they would take after the payments had been made in terms of maybe tracing how the money had gone, how the money had been removed? Because if it's mobile money, they should be able to say that this is where the money has been retrieved from.
Yeah, so I believe it was the money that we sent that they were able to use to track him for the first time to arrest him. But for the second rearresting, I don't even know how they went about to get him back.
Okay, and since then you have not been asked for money from anybody?
No.
Okay.
Even all the phones that he used to call us, all the lines are off.
Okay. What do you feel like the police should be doing at the moment?
At the moment, I feel that the police should torture the guy enough because he's a Nigerian, or he's not a Ghanaian. Assuming if you were the one who went and did this thing as a Nigerian, their country, imagine what they would do to you. They will even ask about the whereabouts. They will immediately burn you or beat you or do all sorts of crimes, all sorts of maltreatment to you. So you can imagine a Nigerian coming to our own country to do this. And up to now, they haven't been able to tell us the whereabouts of our sisters and other girls. I mean, it's something else. It's something else. You cannot do this at Nigeria. So I don't know what they are waiting for and what they are doing to the guy. Because when the guy came to court, even the way he was when he was arrested, I think he's looking more nicer than before. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on there.
Okay, Nanadra. We're working on getting some answers for you, but thank you very much for sharing your story with us this morning. And that's the voice of Nanadra. So her 18-year-old sister has been kidnapped, and they've paid 1,200 Ghana cedis. In the process of making those payments, the payments were traced, and so Samuel Otudek, that's the name of the man who sits at the head of this ring, has been captured, and he is in custody. Those who have family members involved with this keep on focusing on the fact that it seems as though the police is more focused on the prosecution of this criminal as opposed to the rescue of the children. And we will be following that story, and we're hoping to speak to Mr. Bensel, who will give us a bit more insights and also get in touch with the police so that they can actually let us know exactly what it is that they're doing in terms of getting the girls back. And it's #JoySMS, #BringBackOurGirls. You can send in your messages on 0244 340 437, social media messages on the Super Morning Show Brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and Telesol 4G, just a touch. Now, if you're enjoying quality time with friends and family, well, that's an amazing time, but it's made even better when you have a perfect, dependable partner. The EcoBank Visa card or MasterCard is that perfect partner you need for easy payments in shop and online. EcoBank cards are accepted within Ghana and everywhere around the globe for easy and hassle-free payments. Get an EcoBank Visa card or MasterCard for the payment of bills, shopping, dining, and purchase of cinema tickets this and every holiday season. No need to carry cash. The EcoBank Visa card or MasterCard gives you access to your accounts 24/7 on all ATMs and point of sales terminals worldwide. Go on, enjoy easy secured payments at your favorite shop or restaurant and online with your EcoBank Visa card or MasterCard, and make payments a breeze this and every day. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. And joining me on the phone lines is Mr. Kofi Bensel, Vice President of Imani Africa. Good morning, Mr. Bensel.
Good morning, Nimwa.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine, except for the stories you're telling.
Yes, they're very, very worrying. So you have been following this story, and you've also been very verbal about how you feel about it. Speaking to Nanajua this morning, there seem to be a lot of gaps in the story, especially when it comes to what the police are doing. What are your thoughts on that?
Right. Yes, there are very many troubling gaps, and we can take them from many angles, but let's focus on the victims first. Look, when I heard this story, 18-year-old girl just trying to, live her life, she gets kidnapped by somebody so easily, so casually. Nothing happens even after the matter is reported to the police. Weeks go by, and the person is communicating with the victims, collecting money from the victims, and the police have a totally nonchalant approach to this whole thing. And I imagine, what if this was my daughter? What if this was my sister? My first problem is that the police seem to care too little about ordinary people. Look at the casual nature with which they handle this thing. These people have to be going to the police station over and over again when the person is on phone making communications with them. Then you arrest the gentleman, you are so lackadaisical, you let him escape, and then they have to come back to you before you go and grab him again, and then you are so relaxed about it. And the girls are out there. There are 3 girls that we know of. The question is, what are our police doing? And this is not one of those things where you need fantastic resources. You just need to be diligent. This is somebody's sister, somebody's daughter. The first and most important problem is that if our society thinks that our police don't care anything about ordinary people, we will degenerate. And these are lives at stake. So I worry about why the Western Region Police Commander is still at post. I worry about why all those people in charge are still there. I worry about why this has gone on for weeks and nobody is saying anything about it until we all have to raise our voices. Now, even high-profile cases, our police don't seem to be doing anything about them. And I don't know what they need that we are not trying to give them. So look, we can go on, but the point is, can the police give us one good reason, just one good reason, why they have not closed this case now, when they have a person in custody, when they can track who this person has been talking to for the past 6 months and get all of them questioned? The question is, what are they doing? And we need those answers. This could be your sister or your daughter.
Indeed, Mr. Bensel, we need those answers. Now, speaking to Nanajua, she talks about how the perpetrator of this crime was able to escape from the cells, and the fact that they don't seem to be employing extreme measures to get information from this man. And one would assume that there are methods like torture, some kinds of torture, that may get him to speak. Is it possible, and I'm very careful in asking you this, but is it possible that there's something that we are not seeing?
In the first place, torture is illegal, so nobody should talk about torture. I suppose that Nanajua was using the term loosely. What maybe she's asking for is that you take the necessary measures you can to make sure that the information from this gentleman is forthcoming, because clearly he has something to do with this whole thing. All right. Now, is there something we don't know? I expect that there will be something we don't know. I expect that there'll be something the police is doing that we don't know. Okay, we always want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But even as non-security people, even as lay people, we know, for instance, that the police, if they want to, could have tracked this gentleman. When you make a phone call, it goes to a location. There's a cell site that picks it up. And there's a perimeter around that location where they can come and, check and get you. At least they've gotten one person. And all the persons are telling you that since they arrested this boy, the demand for money has ceased. It indicates that he may be the one who was making those demands. That is very easy to find out. Go to the phone company and check the guy's call logs. And then you can check whoever he's been speaking to. Clearly, if they are a ring, they will be communicating one way or the other. So there should be things we don't know. But the bottom line is this. There can be no excuse why this case is halted and there is no progress in terms of finding these girls. Because there surely can be better ways, other ways, short of torture, okay, by which we can get better information. My own feeling, and I think it's the general feeling, is that the police just don't care. They just don't think these people are important enough. Look, we don't say these things easily. We don't say them casually. We say them with a lot of burden, but we have to say them, which is important. If we live in a society where our police do not make every life count, they do not take every case seriously, they do not employ their best efforts to get to the root of every matter involving a life, we would degenerate. This Ghana police is the same Ghana police that can find a member of the police force who is murdered in a bush, buried and under concrete. They can go that far and find that person. So they are capable. They can do something if they want to. And like I said on Newsfire, recently they just bought $10 million worth of vehicles. If you have $10 million, then you have some amount of money to get the logistics you need. On this particular issue, you don't need $10 million. You need to be diligent. So there must be something that we don't know. And the police must tell us. They owe it to us to give us some kind of update. This may be Ruth Quinson and Miss Texan and other people. But I see them just like I see my daughters, and it could be me, it could be you. In every civilized society, they owe it to us to give us some update about what they are doing. It will also give the criminals some idea that they are on their tracks. And everybody's going to take note. Like I said earlier, it's too easy to commit a crime in this country. This Nigerian boy casually just seizes people, and he's free. And according to the escape story itself, this gentleman is in a cell, calls somebody to give him a phone, he makes a call, they bring him a hacksaw blade. So what if he asks for a gun? Okay? How easy it is for this, to go on baffles me. And then according to their own story, he used the hacksaw blade to cut his way out of the cell. Every policeman there, if this is true, should be shot. So look, we worry about the casualness of this. Okay? And this is not just the, only story. There are many other stories. Look, number one is in the news right now. Sorry to take you there, but I want to make the point. There is credible information that he has scammed people in the recent past. And there are 2, 3, 4 cases on him, and the police are aware of it. They were having investigations on him, and then he goes ahead and does even bigger scams. So what is going on with our police force? What is going on? Are they working? What are they doing? We need that information because we are all at risk if this can go on.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for joining us this morning. Indeed, it's a very worrying situation, and we definitely have a lot of questions for the police in that area. Joining us as well on the line this morning is Mr. Dennis Adjei-Jomo. He's a lawyer and director at the Center for Juvenile Delinquency in Ghana. Good morning, Mr. Jomo.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Sorry, good morning, madam. How are you?
It's okay. Very well, thank you. So you've been following this story as well, and we're kind of at a point where we're asking the question of what the police is doing. What exactly do you think they should be doing? And more importantly, why do you think they're not doing what they should be doing?
I think before I came on, Bentel started the conversation about the attitude of the police towards this matter. And the attitude of the police towards this matter is not only the police attitude, that's the Ghanaian attitude where we seem to matter more, or things that happen in Accra now come to the limelight as compared to things that happen in other regions. If not for the FM stations and things on social media, we don't think these matters would have come up. So I think that the police will be doing their work, but in terms of the urgency with which they are doing it, they are not paying attention to saying. Because when it comes to prosecuting somebody for breaking jail, it's quite easy. The facts are easy to gather. And you can easily just bring in the evidence to show that this person was in custody, unlawfully broke out of custody, and there you have your conviction. But when it becomes sophisticated, where they have to be in a position to identify the key witnesses, it goes a little bit complicated. But it's just the sense of urgency that the police have to add to it, and we need the head of the police service to whip the crack on these matters. You need the gender minister taking critical issue. We need to get the Minister of Information to answer questions relating to it. We need to get the committee of gender in Parliament to deal with these matters. We need to call all the female MPs to answer these questions. These are how we resolve. Unfortunately, these are how issues that you wanted to be resolved in Ghana are resolved. Until we decide to give it a front burner like we are doing and calling the Minister for Gender. What is the Minister for Gender doing about it? And asking these questions, it will be the usual way of dealing with it. And as Bentel mentioned, the victim in question is the victim related to a powerful man or related, the family has money or something. And these are the issues that we think that if we decide to crack the whip on it, the police will pay more attention to it. Of course, they'll be in a position to deal with the one relating to break, because as I said, it's quite easier to prosecute, it's quite easier to get a conviction as compared to issues of kidnapping. But bear in mind that after the parties have shown that after kidnapping, there are other consequential crime that is committed after the kidnapping. So you see that after we are charging the person for kidnapping, if you deal with if the victim comes out, the victim is going to have certain issues which might relate to other crimes that might have been committed. And these are things that we need to discuss holistically.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jomo, for joining us this morning. Now, we have been trying to reach the police in the Western region for their comments on this particular matter. We haven't been able to get a hold of them yet. As soon as we do, we will bring you that interview because we need to hear from them concerning what they're planning to do and what they are doing. In the meantime, though, I'm going to take some of your messages. And this one says, "Good morning. I am so disgusted this morning about the kidnapping. What is our military doing? The numerous security ministers and experts. This is shameful to the government of Ghana." Ernest from Amasaman says, "I'm sad by the behavior of Ghana police concerning this kidnapping. The head of police in the Western region should be sacked." Ben from DC says, "A group of timidly lawless people congregated at a geographical area they call Ghana. So timid, other people easily come and intimidate them. Then they go to other countries and subject themselves to slavery." Yusuf in Tamale says, "Ghana police, I am so sad to be a Ghanaian." Jojo from Pantang says, "Anima, a similar thing happened in my area. My neighbor's daughter has been kidnapped. The girl managed to make a call to her family and send her location. And the lady took a taxi from Medina and found out that she was at Kaswa. When she woke up, she had been drugged. Her mother went to the Medina and Adenta police station and they told her that she's over 18 and so she must have gone to her boyfriend's house. The police asked them to wait for a week. If she does not return, then the police can do something about it." Can you imagine? The mother was so troubled. Fortunately, the girl managed to escape after a week. That's Jojo from Pantang. Bride says, "Greetings. Our police are just a joke and they are comedians. Everybody protect yourself now. I am sad about these girls. It's only God that will intervene in these matters." And then, of course, there are questions here for Professor Mensabos, which we'll get into once we start that conversation. This is the Super Morning Show here on Joy 99.7 FM. We've been talking about the kidnapped girls in Takoradi. We'll bring you more as soon as we know more. We're going for a few important messages, and when we come back, that interview that you've been waiting for, that interview that I have been waiting for, we'll be speaking to Professor Henrietta Mensabon. So stay tuned. This is Joy 99.7 FM.
I wake up in the morning, it's a new day.